Let's go in game. You guys being silly in the chat. Oops. Meant to enable music instead I brought up that big thing at the top. Bottom right side of Lotus. We've seen a lot of TvZ on this map, and Mech seems to be predominantly more powerful, but let's see what we get here from Clem. His opponent, well, I guess Clem, to the top right-hand side is the red Terran player from XCD Esports, just talking about Mech. To the bottom right-hand side, our blue Zerg player from Godaron Esports is Denver. Getting set up into this game number 1. Getting this ready to go. Any non-English will be fined £100 per word that wasn't English. I mean, that's one way we could fund tournaments, wouldn't it? If that actually worked. Maybe that's what we should do. We should just, every time we ban someone from chat, make them pay a fine. Call it the fine fund. Every time we hit $500, we make a tournament. I think the only issue is we don't really, I don't think the people who are getting banned from chat are likely to pay their fine, you know? I just get a slight feeling. Slight feeling. This map is from the Challenge 1 section of the map contest. It's the first time we've seen it today, so why don't we take a bit of a look around from the Music246, who was the maker of 16-bit. He has a main base and a natural, and again, the idea is the mains are closer by air than they are by ground. The gold base here is very interesting. In general, 4 bases are very easy to acquire. If you can take this gold base, the one negative is this bridge can be dropped on, but not built on. So it's kind of difficult to survive against harassment from behind here, but if you can, that's great. But it also, as you mine out of this gold base, it opens up this pathway, and if this base gets mined out too, suddenly there's an entire pathway up this side. PS still waiting for a certain poster port. I literally need to move house. Because I actually had the posters, and I have the poster boxes, but they're now in the new house, which I actually haven't officially moved into yet. I promise, port, it's coming. I know, I'm terrible. It's still yours. It's going to be sent. Believe me. Couple of spores getting cancelled. We'll see a third hatchery coming down. What can I say? The reality is I've actually just been saving up all this time to be able to have enough to pay the postage to send it to you. StarCraft wages aren't what they're made out to be, you know. No, I'll get it done in the next month, definitely, because then hopefully I'm gonna have all my stuff in my new place, and then it'll make sense. Then it'll be easy to do. It's actually kind of a funny story. You know what? This game is pretty regular so far. Let's quickly tell this. So the issue I couldn't send these posters out originally is because I needed poster tubes, right? So I ordered some poster tubes, and I was like, okay. So these poster tubes get sent. Now I'm just like, okay, well, you know, I sort of thought that, you know, poster tubes would just come. So they didn't come. And I was like, well, that's a bit weird. And then I checked, and it says they've been delivered. I was like, oh. So I asked back my parents. I'm like, hey guys, like, you know, parents, hello. Have you seen some poster tubes that I ordered? And my parents were like, no. And I'm like, oh. So then I like then I start messaging like, hey, you never sent these tubes, or they never arrived. And you mock them like, well, they got delivered. I'm like, well, no, they didn't. They can't have been. After about 2 or 3 months, I find a box of poster tubes in the garage, and I'm like, are these my freaking poster tubes? And my dad's like, oh, I thought they were mine for putting stuff in. And all the poster tubes were filled with like stupid, like just like bits and pieces of just random stuff. I mean, I was like, yeah, I just thought I'd bought them to be able to store stuff. And, you know, honestly, didn't know what had gone on. I didn't know what had been done. So, yeah, that's the meme story. What's up, Navi? Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. It's not completely true. I actually just didn't know where the poster tubes were. They were just in the garage, but I like to pretend my dad stole them. It gives me more of an excuse, you know. A couple drones going down. So, yeah. Sling's actually going to get some damage done to them here as well. Hellions are in the natural, and those drones are going to have to be running, but actually the Hellions are backing away more into a corner. A couple more Zerglings being picked away out here, as we will be seeing the Queen still going at this. More Lings coming through. Just going to be continuing to deal some damage. The grenade will go off, and again, Queen's just continuing to fight right now. Man, these Hellions are just being stuck here. That's kind of crazy, because usually when Hellions get here, you think everything's going to die, but Clem pulled over here rather than maybe pushing further in, which is very interesting. And thank you very much, Navi, for the Twitch Prime sub. There's some love on the chat for Navi. 3 subs away from 250. Hype, hype, hype. We're making it, guys. Almost there. Thank you so much for all the support. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Navi, for joining the fam. A couple of extra barracks coming down here from Clem then. Going up to the 5 racks, but he does have a 3rd CC, which you can lift up and move out and see what can go on. Heading down towards the bottom left and looking to see what's happening. As I see these couple of overlords heading around the map as well to see where they can go. Ling's on the way up. And we're just going to be seeing them continue to kind of pour on out here. Some creep spread continue to push on forwards. Liberator comes down to the south side and will be wanting to try and siege up in a moment. If you can avoid the Queens get siege, you might be able to get a couple drone kills before it goes down. It is kind of low though, so easily targeted. Oh my god, Denver doesn't quite see that there. Okay, sees it now. And the Liberator will just siege up. Maybe 1 or 2 drones. Denver actually doesn't see it. A little bit of a slow reaction, so maybe even 3 workers here. Wow, he gets a 4th. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. 1-1 upgrades continue to come through. As we'll see, the combat shield is setting up as well. And the tank in the main. More Marines gathering together. The armory finishing up here in a moment or two as well. More Zerglings continuing to stream out as Marines will just be continuing to push down to the bottom left-hand side. Crew tumors cleaned out all over the place as we're going to be seeing Lings and Queens. And they are going to be able to push those 2 medevacs away off over to the left side. So Clem's first drop doesn't do much. And in general, Denver just continued to defend well. Denver didn't have a great start to this group, losing 0-2 to mana and to a laser, of course, so far. A reminder that after this we still have Denver, Clem, and Insane to each play against Insane Denver, Clem, and a laser to each play against Insane separately. Oh my god, I got there in the end. It took a while though. 1 Queen gets picked up as we're going to be seeing these creep teams continue to go down. Lings and Banes still pressing forwards. More Queens targeting as well, and these medevacs will just unload more towards the center of the map now. Still just keeping up the pressure. Obviously with these drops you can always just lift up and move away again. 2-2 upgrades starting on up, and we do have more Lings just pouring on out at the moment. Denver's looking good here as you do see these Banes very nearly able to connect in towards those Marines. Doesn't quite happen though, as we'll be seeing those Marines continuing to unload, and 14-22 Zerglings actually on the way out now. Plus 2 Carapace is very far along compared to the other upgrades. You're going to be seeing Clem was able to drop onto that bridge and now will jump on over to the other side and start targeting down the hatchery. Not sure if Denver actually had any mining there just yet, but that hatchery is going to go down. And that unfortunately is going to be a lack of a 4th base from Denver. Now, that said, this 4th base bottom left, I don't think, obviously holding the gold is great if you can do it, but I don't think it's essential for Denver, because if you can hold this 4th base here, it is a command center that's actually very easily held onto, because it's very difficult to push all the way to the bottom left-hand side of the map. So that's kind of an interesting little something to think about here as a choice as to whether you go for that gold or not. And again, so far, obviously the gold base not really working out for Denver. He loses 2 overlords on this side as well. I'm just getting some good damage done here so far. A few more Lingers and Banes gathering together, and you also just see the +1 vehicle weapons coming up on the armory. Siege tank going to be popping out and gathering with these units as well. Ling Bane and Hydra Force still gathering up, and well, here we go now, starting to move down towards the bottom left-hand side. We have a couple of burrowed banelings here. If they could go off, but man, they're not quite in position to actually catch this army. Maybe he gets over to here. Maybe he would, because oh, the scan comes down and saves him from the banelings. That's a little bit unfortunate, because this is really going to be the perfect position. Those ones, maybe if they go smooth to the right side a little bit, just because that's where the pathing of the unit seems to naturally take them. Maybe it can work out just a little bit better. Bane's finishing morphing in as Denver's pulling back, waiting for a moment or two before he dives into this. He has Lings from the back, so he gets straight on top of the siege tanks, actually. Reinforcements from Clem are a little bit slow to arrive, and Denver will start to push on through this. This army of Clem is being cleaned up. At least it looked like it was being cleaned up. There's actually Bio in the center of it all, surviving. The oddest of places for units to survive, I feel. As Denver loses a few more lings over here. Clem still simming more units across the map. Medevac's going down now. Those the Queens get a chance to target fire them. Some more Zerglings start to stream on in as well. Queen throws down a Transfuse. Now once again a Stim to go after those Queens and will grab. Ooh, not one of them just yet. Transfuse was good. Now it goes down. Two of them go down back to back. And more of these Banelings will continue to fall. Zerglings keep on running in. They keep on dying off too. GG's called and Clem will take. We start to the top left-hand side with our blue Zerg player, who's still looking for his first map win at the moment. On the top left-hand side, it is Denver from Godron Esports. And at the bottom right-hand side, the red Terran from Exceed, it is Clem. 7 maps left here today in Group D of the competition. Again, I think Laser... he's still looking good to finish top of this group. If he can take down Insane 2-0, he'd finish 7-1. And that would be ahead of Mana, who'd be... Well, it depends on Insane's final performance here. Like, if he can take him... you know, if Insane can take down Clem and Denver, like, it'd be insane, but... you know, he might do it. It's feasible. Then, yeah, there's some real possibilities, some real... It's actually still an interesting group in terms of how this can turn out. If we, you know... imagine that some draws can happen and so on, so gonna keep an eye out for how this will go. But as it stands, the Laser looking good at 5-1. Mana 6-2. All of his matches played. Insane 1-1. Clem 1-4 now. Why don't people make like 5 Corruptors to clean up Medivacs and ZVT? I mean, generally, so... I mean, if you play a Ling Bane style, then generally you can, and obviously, like, just don't. It kind of depends, but like, when you play Ling Bane Hydra, you kind of have the Hydras for the Medivacs. The issue is, if you start building a Spire, then just a few Corruptors for Medivacs, like, you just invest so much and you miss so much on the ground, that while the Medivacs go down, like, the thing is as well, Medivacs are actually kind of slow to die to Corruptors, so Corruptors are great if you're thinking about moving into something else anyways. And Lingbane Corruptor was a style we saw for a long time. I mean, pioneered by Dark, of course. Lingbane Corruptor really was something we saw being a thing for a long time, but it's very well figured out. It means that you're basically playing Lingbane on the ground, and the Terran player just, you know, has ways to play against that. Tanks are very powerful because there's just, you know, no counter, and yeah, it just becomes difficult to play your pure Lingbane. We've seen this Reaper going for a drone, of course, in the early stages on the Cyber Forest. Not too much action just yet. Factory going to be finishing in a moment or so from Clem as well. And think about lifting up and dropping down onto that reactor. So Factory going to lift. Just be seeing a starport starting to, so Clem getting that ready to go. Marine is going to be able to push that overload away. So we'll again just pushed away from the side at the moment. A little bit of downtime here at the start of the game. Now Cyber Forest has given us some great games, and I think we've seen this already today. Yeah, Laser Denver. First game of the day actually was on Cyber Forest too, so coming back to it here a little bit more towards the end of the day. Again, we're not done yet, but we are starting to approach the final matches. If any tiebreakers are needed today as well, by the way, guys, we will have them played tonight so that we are guaranteed a full playoff bracket by the end of the stream. Just a heads up for that one, just so you guys are aware. Couple of Hellions trying to dive by, but Queens block nicely. And that Hellion is, again, unable to be too successful just for the moment. Jables23 with the 27 bits in the chat. Thank you so much. Do you know 23 plus 27 is 50? That almost makes, like, if you put your name and the bits together, it's like 50, which is a nice round number. Not that you probably care at all. Well, that is intentional, but thank you so much for the 27 bits. We are going to be seeing the few seconds just moving around. Overlord scout to the main, and we'll see Stimpack starting. Obviously, it has been a Hellion-based opener. This isn't anything crazy quick like a 2-1-1. As you do see, just a couple of these things actually, just these little sections are blocked. So it just, changes up this little pathway ever so slightly. Liberator trying to get in towards the natural expansion, and will do. A lot of Queens were on the third. And you see those Liberators sieging up now. The Hellions are starting to run by as well. Is trying to get a bit more of a surround, but it is not quite going to happen. And those Hellions going to go for just a couple more drone kills. Some drones going down here. Good damage being done as we see the Hellions surrounded once again. That's 6 workers killed. 6 workers killed off as we see 1-1 melee upgrades from Denver continue to come on through. 2 more barracks back at home, so Clem is really setting up in towards all of these racks, and now the factory starts up a tech lab. Starford with a couple of, reactor on it can build a couple medevacts at a time to keep up further pressure. Nothing just yet though. The ring count isn't quite there. Third CC is finishing. We will have our Terran player just coming across to push that Zergling back. Again, melee upgrades nice and quick from Denver. Much faster than 1-1 of Clem at the moment, so that's a big positive as we do have the lair just over halfway done here. Again, Burrow just going to continue to come through as well. It's something that Denver used in that last game, but he didn't quite make it just yet. Yeah, he didn't really make the kind of massive connection we wanted. He was so close, but then Clem threw down that scan. That was unfortunate. Combat shield starting up here from Clem, so that's getting ready to go. Armory on the way up. 2-2, of course, will be enabled by this armory, so heading into that direction. As we do see the 2 medevacs heading towards the left-hand side. Going to be able to unload towards the edge of the creep here and start picking away at some of these creep tumors. Getting a little building. Bane just gathering to the left. Oops, some STB is going down. These Marines going forwards and are able to get a nice little bit of damage done. Going to have a bunker and a supply depot here coming up as well. Okay, a little bit of a run back from Denver. I like it. He's starting to take some initiative. Clem drops into the main base though, and he is going to be somewhat free of Queens, although it seems he's a bit too afraid of too much coming in here. We'll unload, and we are going to be seeing... for a moment I thought that Overlord might be somewhat in trouble, but things with 1-1 upgrades show up, and the 1-1 for the Terran not done yet means he loses a full medevac worth of Marines. That obviously kind of sucks, because now Clem doesn't have anywhere near as much to keep harassing with. Keep pushing the creep back with, and right now the creep is kind of, well, just spreading forwards. A pretty crazy amount, so that creep going all over the place. A lot of tumors moving around here. As we move forwards, jumping onto some of those Marines. That's just moving elsewhere onto the creep spread, but looks as though they're just going to have to lift up and leave again. Now we have another little squad starting to move out from Clem, so more harassment possible here from soon. Does get rid of the active tumor at least, which is obviously a pretty important start to this. The last thing we want to have happen is an active tumor being cause for concern. Doesn't want to let that come up again. The more you slow the creep, the easier the life's going to be in a little while from now. As you see more of these lings coming down the left-hand side. A couple hydras as well. Get ready to work their way through a couple of those rocks. More barracks on the way up on the third base. Still pushing forwards here. Clem actually has equal army supplies. 2-2 not done yet for Denver, so the one advantage you might be able to get here. Not available so far. Marines coming in. We do see a couple of Banes just going to burrow on the ramp. Nicely done. A little bit of a Bane mine. Not a huge one, but grabs a few units, and it's nice because otherwise those units were just going to get cornered and killed. I like these Banes over here as well. Again, looking to grab units as they rally around the map. Sim comes down on the bunker. Lings are dropping already. A few more SCVs being pulled in. There's suddenly a lot of Balins show up as well. Still doesn't bust the bunker. It's actually holding on a surprising amount of time. Finally, 2-2 finishes up. CC will lift to give Clem better access through here to push this back. A scan will allow him to pick off all of these burrowed Banes. Wow, actually pushes all of those away. Really nicely done. That scan from Clem huge, because otherwise, if he went running over those Balins, he could be saying goodbye to another big group of Marines, and another big chunk of his army in general. Tanks and Marines still spreading around the map here at the moment. Big counter-attack from Denver. Actually gets straight on through in towards the natural expansion. By getting into the natural here, opens up a lot of possibilities in terms of the damage he can do. Clem starts to pull backwards with a lot of units. SCVs will start to drop now as well. 2-2 Lings are powerful. They will kill SCVs extremely quickly. Finally, Marines coming back in these Lings. Actually, probably should have pulled up toward the main at least to pull the bio a bit further in, make it longer until they can turn around and actually deal with this. Clem still has a bit of an army at the front. These siege tanks in the choke point really allow him to kind of just stand here with less army supply than he might usually have. Again, just a group of Zerglings down to the south, going to try and run through into that middle line again. There's already the bunker here. Back up and running once more, though. So I like the idea from Denver, but this time the execution, it's not even the execution, it's just the defense of Clem is a bit too strong. Would have been better off morphing in Banes and looking at bust through. But again, how is he to know the bunker was up against so soon? Difficult for him to know that. Good by Clem as well, by the way, because it's very easy to get to rebuild that bunker amongst the chaos of Lings running by. So to have that backup is great. Now here we go, the bio on the creep spread. Actually lifts up here, realizing he's in a little bit of trouble, a bit clumped up and not splitting in time. He's now going to try and drop off towards his siege tanks as more Lings and Banes roll on forwards. The Baneling goes down. There's a burrowed Baneling though, and Clem loses even more supply. Denver fighting for his first point on the board today. Wow, we see these Hydras continue to push Clem away to the right-hand side. Denver is still gathering up with more units in the center of the map as well. 11 more Marines plus 1 vehicle weapons about to complete. 4 more Hydras on the way out, and we do see a 5th base at the bottom left as Denver looking fully set up to just keep on ramming units into Clem's face, because at the moment there's not really much Clem can do to stop it. He has a very low number of units, and I'm surprised that Denver doesn't just throw down the infestation bit and start teching up as well, because he's at that stage of the game where he definitely has the advantage and the ability to tech on up if he'd like to. Bio continues to come in towards the upper right side, a little bit bio bottom left, sees a hatchery. Clem isn't even interested about it, probably just realizes he won't kill it in time. Instead going to go for some drones on this hatchery over here. And that's the thing, Denver just has so much of the map at the moment. These 2 medevacs load up, going to drop in towards the main base. Queen is going to get taken down, so the Queen falls, and again the bio able to clean up just a few more Zerglings. Again, a little bit more of the bio and the tanks continue to sit at the front here, and just going to stim forwards. Another couple of tanks getting taken down. A couple of Banelings connect on the Marauders in the front. Some of these units are loading up, and we can just going to be seeing these Lings continue to push on forwards. More Marines starting to drop on down, and again, just going to be seeing Lings, Banes, Hydras continue to attack in. A cleanup on a lot of these siege tanks already. Scan from Clem will show these couple of burrowed Banes, so he knows about those at least, but Denver has been really making sure to stay on top of the aggressive potential. Here you go again, now feeling as though you can attack in off creep. The Lings gets around, medevacs might have to lift. I mean, medevacs lifted when the Zerg running in towards your third and natural is never a good sign, is it? Those SCVs stack up over here for 16 worker kills, and Denver looks as though he will finally get himself a point on the board now. So Clem and Denver trade out points, which actually puts this